Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we appreciate you stopping by, watching our content. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's not going to cost you any money. We want to engage with you. We want you to also engage with us in the comment section. And we're going to be talking about the Nigerian social media influencer and activist who has recently been at the center stage of a controversy and defamation allegations between AIM and that real estate company called P1. So he came online a few days ago and started sharing his experiences at the hands of the Nigerian police. They maltreated him. He claimed that they humiliated him on behalf of P1, and all in the bid to ask P1 to provide the land for their customers that bought some land from them, and they've not been able to do that. So it looks like Scott Iguma has been taking the lead on holding P1 accountable, on making sure P1 delivers on their promises. So we're not going to speak to the legal aspect of the case, but we're just going to talk about how the Nigerian police handled the case. Do you think they handled it appropriately? It was not charged for any crime. It was basically invited for questioning in regards to a defamation and cyberbullying allegation. And at the end of the day, they put him behind bars and he was there for a few days. And they ended up granting him a bail. He claimed that they didn't let him eat for almost a day. He didn't drink any water. And they really manhandled him. So what do you think about how the Nigerian police handled the situation?
For me, I've always been critical about Nigerian police. Nigerian police, I think I will say it again. I've been saying this thing, and a lot of my this thing, stems from experience. Nigerian police are tips, they are complete tips. I said it the other day again, and I will say it again today. If a Nigerian police see you on the road by midnight and it's just two of you there, the police will kill you and take your possession. I'm telling you, they always take out their frustration on the citizens. What they did to Scott was abnormal, and I think that is why people are blaming Showore for coming out to protest with them about their gratuity and their pension and stuff. Because Nigerian police has always been, they always choose to be on the wrong side of the history. This is a case of, a case between two people, and then for some reason the alleged criminal is working freely, is using you as a willing tool to oppress the person that is raising dust about their fraudulent dealings. And that is really bad. And how they tricked him to come to the station, and then how they throw him in jail in front of his lawyer. And it makes me begin to question the integrity of his lawyer and the way his lawyer stands, because I think I'm hearing this for the first time, that they are throwing somebody in jail in front of their lawyer. I mean, why did you go to to answer their call with your lawyer if they are just going to throw you in jail like that? So maybe the lawyer is complicit. I don't know. But what Nigerian police did is bad. Deny him, food, deny him, due process. Basically, everything they did was wrong. And today, P1 is roaming freely on the street. I think allegedly he was supposed to go see the EFCC, and he did not go see them. He disregarded that call. And according to Scott, he said the P1 lawyer said he's not big enough to meet their boss, the P1. And that speaks volume about Nigerian society. And this is why people that have been opportune to see a system that works, they are very reluctant to go back to Nigeria to settle. From time to time they can visit, but it's especially in this day and age, it becomes difficult for people to go back to Nigeria to settle because of, injustices like this, the activities of Nigerian police, they have never been professional, and I don't think they will ever be professional. So the only thing you can do as a citizen is to ensure that you don't have issue with them, because if you have issue with them and you are poor, you don't have money, they will treat you worse than how they treated Scott. So I think Nigerian police should be thinking of how to redeem their image, how to redeem the trust, have people trust them again, and see how they can fix their image. Throughout history, for as long as I can remember, even in the future, I think Nigerian police, their image has been very bad. I think they should just start looking for a way to redeem their image.
Yeah, image is definitely an important thing that they need to take into consideration whenever they're doing their jobs. I'm sure there are good police officers out there, and there are also bad eggs amongst the police. So it's very challenging when the actions of the bad eggs are overcoming the actions of the good ones. So I still think there are some good police officers that are really doing the job diligently. Some bad ones, we see them every day, stopping motorists, collecting money from the motorists, to making the lives of people hard in general. They see you with a brand new computer, they'll ask you for receipt. If they see you looking too fresh, they'll question you. If they see you with dreadlock, you already assume you're into fraudulent businesses. I think we need to do better as a society, and well-to-do people too. They need to at least calm down. Calm down. You don't need to wield your power. We know you're powerful. We know you're wealthy. Even when people say bad things against you, as long as it doesn't affect your business, as long as it doesn't impact you or your family members, you need to follow the legal way of doing things. You don't need to bully them because you know people. You don't need to bully them because you have the resources to do it. And we need to start changing our mindset. I'm sure a lot of these people, when they go out outside of the country, they ride buses, they ride trains with an average people outside of the country. But when they get into their own country, they live as kings and they don't really care what goes on in the country. So I think it's time we just need to calm down on the way we treat ourselves. We can do better than this. If anyone is defaming you, follow the law. Don't, you know, try to use the police officers to threaten them or to scare them, but follow the legal process, do things legally. And at the end of the day, if the person that allegedly defamed you is found guilty, yeah, let them pay the price, but don't take power into your hands. And this also leads me to people that are also investing in properties, right? Especially people that are overseas or people in Nigeria that are well to do. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. Work with a qualified seller, work with an attorney to be able to protect your interests. A lot of the sellers, they're looking to protect their own interests. They don't really care about your own interests. So you need to have somebody on your side, a qualified attorney that can look at the paperwork and confirm if the deal is legit or not, so that you won't lose your money. It's better to lose a few thousands to do a research or to hire an attorney than to lose millions of dollars and lose your peace, lose your investment. So I think we all need to be wise when making investments, especially in our country. We need to be wise and not be emotional when it comes to investment.
I always tell people, be careful before you go ahead to acquire properties. I know everybody wants to acquire properties. You want to show that you are doing okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that the property that you are buying, that, some of these people are not just trying to swindle you, which is very, very typical in Nigeria right now. Everybody is a realtor. Everybody is selling land. Everybody is selling houses and stuff like that. So I think people should be careful. Even me, I wouldn't even buy it. Well, I wouldn't even give somebody money because I'm too emotional with money. So I wouldn't even give somebody my money to go help me buy land, if I'm not there, unless I really trust you. Especially in Lagos, there's a lot of criminal activities with regards to real estate in Lagos. In fact, they can sell one land to six people. And with the case of P1 and I think Sujimoto, Scott was calling out. In their case, they basically take your money and start looking for land. They don't have the land. They basically take your money and start looking for land. And I think allegedly, Ashimolowo, Matthew Ashimolowo is part of them. And only God will help. Only God will help us. But I think for you, if you are living in the diaspora, make sure you do your due diligence pay a lawyer, get somebody to, to take a second look at it. Make sure that immediately you pay, they are locating it for you because otherwise, in fact, I have seen in the comment section people that said they bought a land, well, allegedly pay for land in 2021, 2020, and till today they have not allocated the land to them. So if you do not want to end up like that, I will highly recommend that you do your due diligence, make sure that these people have this land. And as soon as you are paying, even before you pay, make sure you are seeing the land. And as soon as you pay, you are exchanging the right documentation and they are giving you your land. But if you insist that you want to buy out of emotion, you want to invest out of emotion because you think time is running out and everything will become expensive with time, yeah, that's on you. If you are ready to lose that money, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, yeah, people need to be calming down. People need to be slowing down and making sure that they're definitely not being emotional, especially when it comes to owning a property, owning a piece of real estate. A lot of people are out there looking for your money, looking to take advantage of you. And that's when you hear them say, hey, for you to be successful, you have to use other people's money. So they collect money from A, from B, from C, and then they find a way to combine it and they try to claim the real estate guru and things like that. So you've heard stories of people that are taking advantage of people using the idea of other people's money to invest. Now, at the end of the day, the investors are not going to be able to find the property or their money, and they'll lose money, they'll lose their peace, they'll lose. And some of these people too, they take money, they take loans to invest in property, so which is also a bad idea. If you don't have it, if you can't afford to lose it, don't try to invest. Don't try to use it.
Like you said, the moral of the story is if you, well, with the real estate climate in Nigeria right now, if you are not ready to lose that money, especially within Abuja and then Lagos, if everybody is a realtor, everybody is selling land, everybody is selling house, if you do not have the appetite to stomach that loss, I wouldn't recommend you investing. But then if you decide to do that, that is on you. And make sure you stay away from people that will not allocate land to you. I've always said it for me, if I'm ready to buy a land to build my residential house, I'm not buying house in an estate in a gated community. I'm not buying a land there. I've already lived in a gated community here. There is no reason why I should be living in a gated community in Nigeria. So I think to each their own, but I think you should invest wisely, do your due diligence, make sure that the land is legit. Take your time to research the company, pay a lawyer, pay an investigator, have them look it up. It will probably be a lot cheaper for you to pay all these people than, give them your 10 million, 100 million. And then at the end of the day, you'll be following them and pressing over them and locating land for you, maybe after 5 years or 6 years. So invest wisely and make sure you are doing your due diligence. Peace out.